What's up, pals? My name is Hutch, and I make videos occasionally and put them on the internet. Today, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the power of nostalgia. Now, when I first heard that Modern Warfare 3 was bringing back every launch map from Modern Warfare 2 2009, I was a bit conflicted because on the one hand, I do want new maps. I do want new features. I don't necessarily want to play on maps that I've spent countless hours playing. And so my knee-jerk reaction at first was to be slightly disappointed. At the same time, I was intrigued. As many of you guys know, I think that Modern Warfare 2 had a really fun launch. That first couple of months of playing the game was among some of my favorite video game experiences ever. I just had a blast playing with these new guns and the new maps and these new perks and no Juggernaut, and it was just it was a big deal. It was a significant time in my life, professionally and personally. This game, I'm talking about 2009 Modern Warfare 2, was the game that basically launched my career online. And so I definitely have some fond memories of that game, but it really only took 2-3 months for me to grow very tired of the glaring flaws of that game. And there were a lot of flaws. Balance wise, the game was a complete mess, just utterly broken in numerous ways, not just one or two, like 4, 5, 6, 7 game breaking features for me just ruined the experience. And so my enjoyment of that game did not really last longer than a couple of months until I went back to COD 4. I spent the rest of 2010 playing COD 4. So what intrigues me about Modern Warfare 3 is the ability to go back and enjoy these iconic maps, because say what you will about Modern Warfare 2009, the maps are just iconic. There's really only 2-3 maps that I don't love, you know, and they're not even terrible. Like, I don't love Estate, but it's not terrible. I don't love Afghan, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's overall, I think it is the strongest map rotation of any game launch, of any COD launch, was Modern Warfare 2 2009. And I love COD 4 maps, but I just think that it's just, in terms of maps, I think 2009 Modern Warfare 2 was the GOAT. And so even though I crave new things when it comes to games, I don't necessarily love going back and revisiting old game systems and maps and these kinds of things. The idea of going back and being able to enjoy a game like Modern Warfare 2, or rather the maps like Modern Warfare 2's, without all of the game-breaking features is intriguing to me, for sure. Now, I want to dive a little bit more on this topic with you guys, but before that, we need to get to today's sponsor. Friends, today I would like to talk to you about Surfshark VPN. VPN stands for a virtual private network. It's a way for you to stay private when you're browsing online. I know some of you guys hate skill-based matchmaking, and I'm not going to judge you for being a scumbag. If you don't like it, hey, different pokes for different strokes. I don't think that's a phrase. But if you're in the market for a VPN, let me talk to you a little bit about Surfshark, the sponsor of today's video. VPNs are becoming increasingly important in a world where online privacy has become incredibly consequential. With one, you can browse the web in a public hotspot without worry that somebody is going to snoop your data, steal your credit card information, etc., etc. Surfshark also offers other services such as real-time alerts if you have any kind of data breach. They have an antivirus, and they even have a private browser. If you're looking to play a game early, many people will call it taking a trip to New Zealand. You set your region to New Zealand, and if a game goes live in New Zealand earlier than it does in the United States, you can play that game like 12 hours early. Sign up using code Hutch in the link below and get 3 free extra months of service. Check it out, guys. It's good stuff. Okay, what were we talking about? All right, nostalgia. So after playing, I'm gonna guess a cumulative 35 hours of the Modern Warfare 3 beta, what I have to say about my experience is that I had a good time. If I'm playing a beta with a level cap of 25, with a small map rotation, where the experience itself is very repetitive in a beta, but if I'm playing for 35 or 40 hours, I'm having fun. If I'm not having fun, I can tell pretty much right away, and I'm going to stop playing after, I don't know, 8 hours, 10 hours, something like that. So the very fact that I wanted to keep playing and I logged that many hours into this beta, that right there let me know that I was having a good time, and it made me excited for the full release of the game. There were some balance issues. Battle Rage was very annoying early on in the beta. Everybody was running it. It felt crazy overpowered. The striker or the ump in this game was very strong, and so seeing half the players run with that gun was a little annoying. But apart from a couple issues that I think are quite easy to fix, the overall experience that I had was quite good. And I'm excited for newer players. There are a lot of people that play Call of Duty across all platforms. It has, I think, over 100 million players. I don't know how active those players are each month, but there's a lot of people that play this game. There's a lot of younger people that just got into this series in the last couple of years. They never got to experience these iconic maps. And so I'm actually quite excited for them, that they get to experience Invasion, that they get to experience Karachi, that they get to experience Scrapyard and High Rise and Terminal. They're gonna have a really good time with it. The question I have for you guys is, should nostalgia be enough to carry a game? So even though I had fun playing this game, and I suspect I'll have a lot of fun at launch, just philosophically, is this the way to go? Because what concerns me is that when you launch a new Call of Duty in 2023 using 16 maps that launched with a game in 2009, to me, that betrays a lack of confidence. That betrays a lack of confidence in your ability to innovate. I think that COD players, the really hardcore players that spend a lot of time online talking about the game on social media, reminisce way too much about games that launched 10 years ago. And I think a lot of them, they just haven't really had the same amount of fun that they've had 10 years ago, but they play the game and buy the game every year, year after year after year. And there's a ton of negativity, even despite the game breaking sales records all the time and consistently being like the most played game. So clearly there are a lot of people playing and enjoying these games. But the really hardcore ones that are fixated on nostalgia, I don't know if they're gonna like what they finally get, if that makes any sense. They've been asking for the series to go back to its roots, to take it back to a time that once was, so they could sort of recapture that experience that they used to have playing the game. They've been asking the developers to do this for a really long time. And I have serious doubts that these people are going to rejoice now that they actually finally get the thing that they're asking for. I don't know if it's going to be enough. And I think that's because you're never going to get that old Call of Duty experience. If you're like me and you've been playing in this series since 2006, 2007, whenever COD 2 came out, you remember a time in gaming that to me was quite special. And when it came to Call of Duty specifically, it was very special because at the time, PC gaming wasn't as big. And so the overwhelming majority of players were playing on consoles, and there just were not a lot, if any, options when it came to online shooters that had a smooth 60 frames per second experience. Every other game at the time was launching 30 frames, and Call of Duty stood out for its polish in that regard. It played so smoothly compared to every other console game on the market. And so when a new COD came out, be it COD 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, it felt like this significant event because this was going to be the game that would tie you over for the next year. I mean, early on in those early years of COD for me, I really didn't play anything else. BioShock Infinite came out one year. I played that, like there were like a couple single player games that I played, but it was mostly just COD for that whole year. And the reason why it was able to sustain me for a year is because nobody was making games in terms of an online shooter experience like Call of Duty. That nobody was on that level. And that is just not the case in 2023 when it comes to shooters specifically. There are so many options for games that deliver an incredibly smooth experience. You have Fortnite, Escape from Tarkov, you have Apex, Valorant, CSGO, you have Siege, and on and on and on. The options that we have now are numerous, and that doesn't even, I'm not even discussing single player games, which I've started playing a lot more single player games in the last couple years, and I am so happy that I did, because I feel like I've been missing out on some really great experiences over the years. In the last year, I've played Elden Ring, I've played Sekiro, I've played Spider-Man, I played Death Stranding, I've played Cyberpunk, I've played probably 30 to 40 single player games in the last year, and I've just been having such a great time. So the point that I'm trying to make is that my feelings about Modern Warfare 3 this year are complicated. They're a bit conflicting, because on the one hand, I do think I'm going to have fun playing this game, and I'm excited to go back and revisit these maps, as I said before. And I'm excited for newer players to get to experience these maps, because I think this map rotation in this game is very special. And so that is exciting to me. I am somewhat concerned, and this is where the confliction happens, the conflict happens. I'm somewhat concerned about what this means for the future, because if you ask me if Call of Duty should lean into nostalgia or try to innovate, I'm going to answer the latter. I would prefer a Call of Duty that continues to give us new and exciting maps and systems every year. And they're not doing that this year. There are some new systems, but with the map rotation, this is a heavy nostalgia bomb. They're relying, almost entirely on nostalgia. And so in the future, I would like to see new maps. And so I guess if I'm going to summarize how I feel about Modern Warfare 3 this year, is that I think I'm okay with it, because I'm excited, I'm going to have fun, but I hope this is the last time that they do this. I don't necessarily want them rehashing the maps in the way that they did this year. I don't want this to be a regular thing. My preference would be that they push the series forward in really meaningful ways. So that's my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys on the battlefield.